Anyway, let's go to the main event, the men's division Owen Hart final that was surprised us when it came down this way. Ricky Starks and like Mussolini in Calgary. CM Punk in Calgary Stampede territory. And boy, howdy. You know, I said, okay, the Stampede territory was where they liked men, not as p***ish as Ontario, right? Maybe that'll be all CM Punk. But no, even there, the Buckaroos have infiltrated. So again, CM Punk was simultaneously the most over babyface and most over heel in the goddamn company. And now, as I believe we predicted, it didn't take Nostradamus to predict it, the booers are trying to drown out the cheerers, and the cheerers are trying to drown out the booers, and now it's just a goddamn duel. And Punk is sitting there clearly loving the level of both reactions and fucking milking it for all it's worth. But have you ever seen anything like this? Half the crowd would like to fucking shank him, and the other half would like to carry him out of the building on their shoulders.
I love it. I love that energy. And not that this match wasn't good, but it covers up for things in matches when the crowd is that into the personality.
Yes, when the people or person is this over, it's like cholesterol medicine. It covers up a lot of sins. You can eat more donuts. Anyway, as soon as the bell rang, they got dueling chants on arm ringers and a big chant on a headlock. And again, this is the wrestling show. And finally, they went back and forth with headlock takeovers, and then Starks scored with a shoulder tackle and got a big pop out of it. Imagine that. Nobody was stabbed in the head with a screwdriver, but the people are still enjoying it. How in the world can this happen? And then they had a break spot where Punk, they reversed hip tosses, and Punk hip tossed Starks over the top rope with the momentum and then held the ropes for him to get back in. And then when they came back from the break, Starks was in control, but he threw Punk to the floor, and Starks held the ropes for Punk, and Punk walked around to the other side. Little subtle shit, because he's enjoying. Here's the thing. If somebody didn't know what they were doing, as soon as they got a bunch of the audience booing them, they would start healing. They'd be pulling the hair and kicking in the nuts or pulling out a fucking foreign object. But that wouldn't make any sense because that's not who Punk is. So he's doing little subtle things that control whether it magnifies the cheers or the boos, but he's not doing anything out of character. He's not suddenly becoming someone he's not presented as just because one crowd is reacting in a certain way. And it's difficult to do that on the fly. And he got heat from the crowd with doing Brett moves. The fucking forearm drop off the turnbuckle and etc. This is where I wrote Ian is trying too hard. I think by the end of the show, he was just beside himself. And anyway, then they started getting some 2 counts. Starks missed the elbow. Punk hit a clothesline. They did a double cross body and both went down. When they had the slugfest in the middle, Starks won the exchange. That's a little subtle thing. And then Punk hit a pile driver and got a 2 count. Wasn't that on the completely banned list?
I guess someone approved a lot of things this week.
I'm just thinking maybe he said, hey, nobody tells Phil Brooks how to fucking wrestle.
Maybe.
We
will find out.
Anyway, so Punk calls for the go to sleep, but Ricky Starks hits the spear and Punk goes to the floor and Starks goes out and has to roll him in. And he goes for another spear, but Punk hooks the front face lock on him on a roll through. Starks gets the ropes. And then Punk Hurricane Ranas him off the ropes and they go back and forth with roll ups. And suddenly Starks rolls him up and reaches up and grabs the middle rope. 1, 2, 3. and beat CM Punk. And that was fucking perfect. And I know everybody's going to say, what the fuck? You had all but called for the victory party. Punk had to win this thing in a match with Starks. And I would have said that, and I did say that, because Starks is a babyface. I could not see Punk doing a job for Ricky Starks as a babyface unless, as we mentioned, Samoa Joe got involved or there was something else that happened. But Starks cheated. Just holding the rope. That's all it needed. Because in a battle of the babyfaces, the babyface that won had to cheat. And that saves Punk, but it gives Starks the biggest win he's ever had. Your thoughts?
I thought it was very interesting having Ricky Starks leave there as a heel. Because not only did he cheat, I don't know if you saw any of the, I don't know if I'm going to call it an overrun, the beginning of Battle of the Belts.
I did not. My DVR froze right at the fucking 1, 2, 3 and arm up.
They go, we're going to go to Battle of the Belts. And they do this big intro. And I'm like, oh shit, did they tape this somewhere else? And then they just go right back to Ian and Nigel sitting there. But you see Punk in the ring and Starks leaving, and he grabs the trophy from Liger, Jushin Liger.
Ah!
On the stage, he grabs the trophy in a very disrespectful way and just walks off, smiling. I mean, he's happy. He's not like an angry guy.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have time for Jushin Liger. He just held the ropes against CM Punk. We've been saying they got to do something with Ricky Starks because as over as he is and was, and he still is, it may
he
be
never
time.
Does anything.
It may be time to do something different with him. And you need guys on this roster, on this Saturday show, to do different things. And this is an interesting twist no one expected, maybe. And we'll see what happens.